Hello, and welcome to Map It Out Wednesday. It's wonderful to have you here. I am no substitute for the inimitable Marie, but she's not feeling very well today. So, unfortunately, we'll have to get along without her. Today, we have the pleasure of welcoming Robin McTagg, and she is from the company Positive Team Engagement. Now, Robin is a very accomplished woman. She is a specialist in Enneagrams. And when it comes to relationships, she is qualified, bar none. So I'd like to welcome to the stage Robin McTagg.
Thanks, Akila. Nice to see you today.
Nice to see you too, Robin. So I wanted to ask you about motivation maps. You are a practitioner and you have been so for at least 5 years, if my math is correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And as I said, you're a relationship expert. You are a specialist in you're a specialist in Enneagrams. And what attracted you to motivational maps?
Well, I'd worked for WorkSafe for 34 years, and I did a lot of different things there. I did some union work. I did a lot of joint committee work. I trained in conflict resolution with the Justice Institute and felt very fortunate to be able to do that. We only had two in North America at the time, California and here in Vancouver. And I had also trained in psychology, counseling, critical stress debriefing, so a lot of different things around trauma and really understanding people and why they did what they did. And I also trained in meditation. So when I left WorkSafe and got to retire early, it was the first couple of years was just relaxing from being in a business environment. And then it was, how do I bring these things together? Because I had all these different skills and abilities that I really enjoyed, but how would I market that and really connect with people in a different way? And then meeting you at an event, you said, oh, why don't you try this assessment? And it was so accurate. It was amazing. It was really mind-blowing. And it really helped me at a time when I was trying to make that transition into being an entrepreneur and understanding business in a different way, where I had to be out there more. And we talk about our top three motivators, which are really important, but also that bottom one that gives us a lot of information about where we may not be really hitting the mark and may not be really understanding people because of it. And for me, that was the relationship one, because when I worked, I was busy. I was doing everything, all these committees, and I was doing the Strata Council where I lived. I was doing my fitness at lunch. I was teaching meditation on the side. So relationship building wasn't really important there. And I saw those people as needy at the time. And, I'd go to the big things like the Christmas lunches and things like that, but that wasn't a priority. I enjoyed learning new things, bringing in new skills, changing, and doing a lot of change management and legislative changes, things like that at the last part of what I did. So it really helped me to see where we can get stuck in our own way of thinking. Being in the picture frame, we don't see outside of that. So it brought that clarity. And then because of the accuracy, that took me down that deep pathway into the Enneagram, and I became a certified teacher.
Wonderful. Yes, you are a high spirit. So one of the things you enjoyed were your intellectual pursuits, and you loved having the time to do all of that. Like you're a lifelong learner, right?
Absolutely. Never stop.
No, that is wonderful. Now, today, tell us a little bit about the conflict resolution that you're doing.
Well, I really find it's interesting, no matter what I talk about or do, it always comes back to that. People want to spend time talking about it, and it just flows really naturally for me. So, maybe they're having a problem with their partner, but we're really talking about their business. Mm-hmm. And so I'll bring in, well, maybe you could ask them this, or maybe you could do this. And so seeing that reactivity, which is normal within us,
Mm-hmm.
how to move that into a way of connection. And that's why I really love the map, because it gives us that neutral language and helps
Mm-hmm.
see that often it is a motivational conflict, not a personality conflict. So whether it's at home or at work. And I think we see now in our society, people want to bring them full selves to everything they do. We don't compartmentalize our lives anymore. And I think this is why there's that soft skill, even though it's very scientific, it is that softer skill of understanding ourselves and each other, because we have the internal conflict and then the external conflict. So those tensions build, and a lot of business owners shy away from dealing with it. They
Yes.
feel challenged by it, they don't know how to deal with it. And so when we can bring clarity to that and some very specific tools and information, it just really changes everything.
Yeah. Can you give me one example where using the motivational maps helped maybe a couple of team members understand each other better and maybe go down a different road because of that understanding?
There was one group I worked with, and they were a lot of young women,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a lot of expert. They all had expert in their top motivators. So there was a bit of jealousy, a bit of, this is my thing, and competitiveness, which we know can leak out in some behaviors and ways of dealing with each other, which aren't the best. And there was unmet expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and there was an overlap too, which
Yeah.
didn't help because of outside of work relationships. So helping some of these women to see that, we do have those needs, but work isn't always the best place to have them all met. And also looking at what are their roles? Can each person specialize in a different area so that they feel like the expert and they can come together with all their expertise? So that was really important. And there was one person there as well that was borderline. And, it was really valuable to see where she was and then redo the map 3 months later to see, was she improving based on the information? And there was improvement. And at the same time, she realized that that wasn't the best place for her. So she moved on to another role.
Great. Did you find that there was also a problem with the language of motivation where people were taking offense where none was met because they didn't know how to use the language of motivation?
Absolutely. And just generally, right? We don't have the skills. We're not taught boundaries, which
Mhm.
need a lot of conflict resolution, not only the language, the boundaries. So understanding when we can use that neutral language with the motivational maps is really huge. And seeing where, I like change quickly and I don't, and I need lots of information very frequently, and you like the bottom line, it helps to bring that understanding in so we can start from a place where we understand each other and we're not taking it personally. That's the biggest thing to me in conflict resolution, is being able to step back and say, it's not about me. Be curious. All behavior makes sense. That's my
Yeah.
mantra that I learned in my training, and I still use it whenever I talk to people. Be curious.
Yeah. Well, and that is really important, and that's one of the things I love about motivational maps. It's about curiosity and not judgment. Yeah. Yeah. So you know that we're having a training starting on the 18th for the next cohort of practitioners, starting on the 18th of March. What would you say to somebody, a friend of yours, who may be interested in taking motivational maps? And she's come to you to ask if it was worth it.
Yeah, I actually have someone that may be starting with you, and he's an Enneagram colleague. And
Okay.
for myself, I find I did it both ways. I used to work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'd do their typing with the Enneagram, and their map.
Mhm.
And initially I started doing the Enneagram first, but I found it actually works better to start with that clarity with the motivational map and then go deeper with people. And it's the same with teams. Let's get the baseline with the map and then go into the Enneagram work to go to that next level. So what I would say, it's a great complement to whatever you're doing. So whether you're coaching, HR, I mean, there's so many different ways this can be used. Personal development. I love doing it with couples, people who are about to retire. It's a real game changer to see what are the things that are going to draw us together and what are the things that are going to take us apart. Like a couple that they're both high growth, so they're out learning, doing things. What is the cost of the learning, like financially, but also what are we going to do to reconnect? So there's just so many different ways to use the map, both professionally, personally. It's just a really great tool.
Yep. And thank you for that. And that's one of the reasons we're doing this series, because from watching it, you see how many different types of coaches and consultants use the map, and each one of you use it differently. And I find that exciting. Yeah. So, is there anything, if anybody is interested in getting more information on the training, please contact us. There will be a link below that is, you can click on and put in your information, and that information puts you into a draw for a free motivational map. And I will be doing the debrief, and you also get a coaching session with me. So if you would like to experience the tool for yourself, it's a draw for the people who do enter. And I would love to do a debrief for you. So do you have any last words, Robin?
Just bring that curiosity when you're feeling the judgment of yourself or someone else. What is going on for me, or what's going on for them? What question can I ask to open that up, whether internally within myself or to the person or group that I'm connecting with?
Well, thank you. And the other thing that I really liked what you had said earlier is that what you want to do is learn. When you know what the issue is, then you can start to learn how to ask for what you want and need.
Yeah, and that was for me when I did conflict resolution, I had to do mediation and negotiation. Mediation, not a problem. I'm not involved. Negotiation, that was the tougher one for me to learn. And so I actually did my assessment on that because I really wanted to learn, how do I bring my own needs in and the other person's, and how do we work together and find that common interest?
Yeah. Did you know that I also took the conflict resolution program at Justice Institute?
I did not. That's great.
Neither did I. See, we learn things about each other all the time. Anyway, thank you, Robin, for being on here. And Marie, I hope you get better very, very soon. We miss you. Okay. And thanks for everyone for watching. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.